And in addition to that, my son,
Yes.
my number 2 daughter,
Yes.
and my 2 grandchildren are here.
Amen.
Jameson, you know by that name, I call him Big Man. And Josiah, you know by that name, but I call him Sweet Pea. So I'm so honored to have my family here today. Just briefly, I want to say to you that, Sister Janice, I'm almost old enough to be your father. I'm almost 72. I know you're still 39, so I'm not far off. This is the weekend that the U.S. Open Golf Championship is being played, and I had a cute little thought come through my mind as we were driving down here this morning. There's a commercial on this weekend in conjunction with that golf tournament. There's 4 golfers walking along. I could tell you their names, but I won't take the time to do that. But they're walking off of the 18th green, headed to the clubhouse, and one of them says to the other 3, I'm thinking about 9 more, because they were advertising the shoes on their feet. And their feet just felt so good. He said, I'm thinking about 9 more, and another one piped up behind him and said, well, I was thinking about 18. And then the most honest one in the crowd spoke up and said, well, I'd have to call my wife.
That's right.
And the wives are going, That, and Tina's saying, that's right. That's right. And then there's one other thing that I want to share with you before we get into seriousness of singing and preaching the Word. And that is that I've been made aware that our government just loves to spend money on doing research on things that ought to be a no-brainer.
Come on.
And so a report has just come out. How factual it is or not, I do not know. But this report has come out stating that our government has just spent over $1 million researching the fact. The fact. They have said unequivocally, absolutely, this fact is true. That unless your father sired or begat children, you won't either. Some of you will get that tomorrow and just bust out laughing. This is a song the Lord sent to me several years ago while I was still pastoring at Gardendale through the talents of a man that I dearly respect. He's written over 200 gospel songs, received numerous awards. But when he sang this song, I said, God, if there's any way possible, I got to get the words and the music to that song, and if you will help me, I'll sing it wherever you send me. And this is that song, When the Carpenter Came. The rain was pouring down, the roof began to leak, so I called the carpenter whose shop was up the street. I begged him to come quickly. He promised that he would. No time flat, he knocked my door. On my front porch he stood, with wisdom in his eye and a toolbox in his hand. I told him I was desperate. He seemed to understand. Didn't know what was in store that dark and rainy day, when the carpenter I asked him to come in. He said his tools out on the floor. Seemed to know his way around like he'd seen the place before. Right away he went to work. He knew just what to do. No time flat, he fixed the roof, and I thought that he was through. Then he tore down on the whole wall. Didn't ask me if he could. At first I was furious, but then I saw the rotten wood. He told me not to worry, that he'd build it back like new. Said that it might take some time, but he'd stay to see it through. With wisdom in his eye and a toolbox in his hand, I told him I was desperate. He seemed to understand. Didn't know what was in store that dark and rainy day. When the carpenter came. Listen now. Still at work today. Says that he won't stop
Yes, come on.
till this house is perfect,
Come on.
from the bottom to the top.
Yes, amen.
I'm learning I can trust him. I'll wait patiently. And if it takes forever, well, that's all right with me. With wisdom in his eyes and a toolbox in his hand, I thought he'd come just to patch things up, but he had bigger plans. After all he's done for me, I won't forget the day when the carpenter came. When the carpenter came. Amen.